Hey old soul, just over a year ago I sold everything I owned in Australia and moved with my ex-husband and 3 kids to this beautiful land of Bali. Now I travel first class around the world, teaching people how to manifest their dream life. If you're ready to step into a paradigm that's so wild, so freeing, so abundant, then you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome. We don't need a chance to wake up, well, what's the story, morning glory? Well, Phoenix, rise up from the ashes, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, as if you had a choice, even if you cannot hear my voice. I'll be right beside you, dear. It's 858 here as well. Sending you success, love, success. Just keep getting the same cards, So make sure that you rise up like a phoenix. And success is on the way. Success is on the way. Rat energy, if you are in my 6 weeks to quantum wealth, you always hear me like doing the things and I'm like, there is a rat in the background. There is a rat in the background, and it is scurrying around. Okay, beautiful souls, let's go deep today with where you are in these life cycles, because you may or may not have noticed that life is very clean and clear, but we're not taught these cycles in school. We're not taught these life and death cycles. We're not taught you're actually at the end of a chapter and you're ready to go to the next chapter. Now, life is, hey Renee, hey Melanie, how are you beautiful souls? Life is really just like a video game. It truly is. Everything in life mirrors us, mimics us, sees us. Think of a radio station. That is life. That is the law of vibration. That is frequency. It's showing us. Think of a TV with the channels. It's, programming, channeling, ironically. So where are you in this life, on this journey? Where are you? How do you know if you are at the end of a chapter, or if you need to keep going back and repeating patterns and loops and bounds and all these things? How do we know when we break free? Because often when we go to the next chapter, it can be terrifying. It can be scary. It can be overwhelming. So, a few signs to know where you are on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey. Often life is going to give you a test. It's going to give you a test to be like, are you really the next version of yourself? Are you really the next truest, purest version of self? And you're going to need to pass the test to go to the next level. Now, often you will be confronted with opportunities, people, places, things in your psyche that you need to get acquainted with to go to the next level. There'll be things that are like pulling you in, drawing you in. And if you're not ready for that, then you're not ready for the next level. When life starts to speed up and you start to notice that things are moving very, very quickly, and it's like quantum leap, quantum leap, quantum leap, quantum leap, and you're very calm internally, you're very calm, pure, grounded, you're leaning back, and things are quantum leaping around you. You move very quickly and very effortlessly. It's like the things come up to test you and you're just like, interesting, okay, I'll do that. And you're not in this loop of, I don't have the money to do this or this and that and the other. Like there's no lack of power in the higher chapters and the higher levels of the video game. But in the lower levels, to overcome the lower levels of the video game, you've got to do things that you've never done before. Now, most people struggle with this because they cannot get away from doing things they've never done before. They don't know how to get resourceful. They don't know how to think differently. They don't know how to get out of their comfort zone so that you can bring in the new. So, where are you? If you're in this place right now where it feels like, oh my gosh, this is Groundhog Day, I've done this over and over and over again, I'm really sick of this, I need something new. You're at the same chapter. You're on this chapter that you've probably been for a really, 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 really long time, and something massive needs to come to break it up. Now, naturally, you can stay in the same chapter. You cannot listen to the inner guidance for many, many, many years. You could not listen to it for like 20, 30 years if you wanted to. And then all of a sudden, there'll be an astrological event, or there'll be something in your life that really hurts to get you to get off that path. Because it's like, okay, cool, you've done level 1 of the video game for like a million decades? Can you get to level 2? Can you move further? And so life will naturally do something that will hurt you. You know, it will kind of be like this big slap in the face, and your ego will take a hit, and your ego will be like, this shouldn't be happening, instead of just being like, okay, cool, thank you, universe, thank you, God, thank you, angels, thank you, source, thank you, science, whatever you desire to call this infinite wisdom, this infinite intelligence that's always been within you and always flowing through you. That is going to be the biggest thing to realize that you're on this level and you haven't overcome it. But if you are at a new level of the video game, so you've just recently gone through a period of astronomical change, so maybe you've left a job, left a partner, left a friendship group, changed house, like you've actually actively done something that has signaled huge change in your life, then you're often in this like place of void and recalibrating to the highest level. Now in this new level, you'll feel different, you'll be acting different, you'll probably be dressing different, your clothes won't be the same, you'll be attracting a different type of opportunity, different types of people, different types of things will come into your reality. That's how you know that you're at the next chapter of your life. Now you have to be careful with this chapter, because when you start the new, it can be uncomfortable. You can start feeling like, I don't know where I am, I don't know what's happening, because think of like the next level of a video game. It's all new. You haven't been into those rooms before. You haven't been into those places in your psyche yet. And so you have to be softer with yourself. You have to surrender more. You have to be more still. You have to be more allowing. You have to be more in the feminine flow. Whereas before in the old chapter of the video game, you started to get tired. You're like, fuck, oh my gosh, if I have to do this again, yada, yada, yada. But you had to have strength to go from level 1 to level 2. Because if you didn't have the strength and the fight and the power and the determination, you wouldn't have made it through, because you needed to do something that was intense to get from level 1 to level 2. You needed to make a huge decision. You needed to do something to prove to yourself that you are powerful enough, that you do deserve more, that you do deserve it to be easier and to be better than this. And so that is exactly what my Bali retreat does. We get from level 1 to level 2. It's really just pushing you up. It's changing. And maybe it's not level 1 and level 2. Maybe you're on level 99 and you're going to like level 500. Whatever it is, you have to understand that there are chapters in your life. Everything in life is a mirror for what life is. Books have chapters. There is a cover. That is the mask that we wear. There is the ending. That is the death of us at the end of this beautiful, beautiful lifetime. And every single day, week, month, you have to realize that we're going through cycles, through chapters, through evolutions. And what a lot of people do is that they're not moving quickly enough. They're not moving in sync enough. They're not really listening to their soul. And the work I do in this world is really to take you from this chapter to this chapter, because if you can't get from here to here, you can't evolve, you can't expand, you can't move mountains, you can't help the people that you came here to help and really sit with and find your innate gifts. If you cannot change, if you cannot adapt, you're actually out of the rhythm of life, because we have to look at everything in nature is constantly changing, it's moving, it's adapting. We look at snakes, they're constantly shedding their skin. We look at trees, they're constantly shedding their leaves in the winter and then coming back to harvest in the spring. And so we have to be in sync with nature, which is constantly shedding the layers, it's constantly shedding the things. And in order for us to do this naturally, we have to be okay to ride the waves effortlessly without the limitations, because the limitations are not real. They're not us. They are, artificial. They're not organic. Who we are at our core is somebody that can adapt, that can manifest everything that we truly desire and more at the deepest of its capacity. And so if you truly have been stuck in this loop and this cycle for too long, and for you, it could even be like 3 months is too long. When you start to speed up the cycles, when you start to speed up the process, you start to realize how quickly that you can move. You start to realize how effortlessly it is to manifest things, and things do come in beautiful waves and cycles. We look at the ocean. The ocean never stops flowing. Like, the waves always come in, right? But then there are the tides. So there's like the underlying current of the waves that goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And so the waves of abundance never stop flowing effortlessly, organically. They're always moving to the surface all the time. These are the beautiful frequency waves of the quantum field. But then the tides that underline the waves that are quite deeper, we've got the in and out, they take a bit longer, you know? And so we are operating, we're just literally a massive energy operating on frequencies. And when we can start to understand our rhythm and really be in sync with the law of rhythm so that we can manifest it all and more, then we can truly have a life beyond our wildest dreams. And so if you are truly feeling the call to get from here to here, and all of the cognitive distortions, and think about this like in your life, in every area, not even to do with me and my work, but in every area of your life with the cognitive distortions, you know, all the bullshit that comes up because you're trying to go from this chapter, I can use my angel cards, trying to go from this chapter to this chapter. And so naturally, all of, look at that, the rhythm of nature. Of course, it's rhythm of nature. I'm literally talking about rhythm and it's like rhythm. So all of the blocks that are going to come up there are inorganic. They're not real. They're not actually true to your core. The distortions of the mind you have to get good at overcoming. So the distortions of the mind I go through in a lot of the content I do in the Limitless Wealth membership, but the distortions of the mind are really around the, oh my gosh, it's all around not being worthy. It's all around the underlying tones and the underlying currents of this human reality, which is, I couldn't have that, I've got to check with my partner, oh, that's too hard to get, oh, I've already, like people always go like, I've asked all these people for money and I can't seem to get it. It's like, think bigger, think grander, think more like incredible. There's never one way to get anything. There's always a million ways to get the thing. But what happens is that as you elevate your consciousness, the way that you think to get the thing changes. And that's why it's so important to raise your vibration and think differently, because something that you manifested yesterday, how you manifest it today will be a completely different way because you're raising your consciousness. So you have to realize that when you expand your consciousness, you're like, huh, there's a million ways to get that one thing. I could sell this, I could sell that, I could ask this person, I could ask this person, I could go into business with this person, I could take out a loan, I could, like, there's a million trillion ways, and we have to understand the universe isn't right or wrong, good or bad. It's the way that feels the most alignment to you, the way that feels the most truest. And so if you're truly feeling the call to come to Bali, to expand your consciousness, to go from here to here, because we do a Kundalini activation in the 5 days that takes you from here to here effortlessly, easily, in flow, in sync with the laws of nature. And the truth is that this will completely and utterly change your entire life. Like, it made me cry before because I was like, this out of everything in my business is the one thing that brings me so much joy, because I get to hug you in person. I get to like be with you. I get to experience your energy for 5 days. I get to be in your presence. And I did this post yesterday and I'm like, I am so deep. Please don't ever talk to me about the weather or what's happening, even though I'm like, it was a beautiful day, but I don't care about that. I care about like what's in your soul. I care about what's in your psyche. I want to know your gifts. I want to rip you apart and actually just like rip you to the core so that your light just shines through you and the world can see how powerful you are. The world can see your gifts. The world can see the things that you came here to express to the world, because the reality is you're not getting any younger. You're going to wake up from this dream and you'll be lying on your deathbed and going, I just wish I did that. I just wish I did that. There is no right or wrong, good or bad, and you have to stop seeing all the blocks. When we start to think limitlessly, we realize that it's never a matter of not having the things that we desire. It's a matter of changing ourselves so that we can become a different version, so that we can manifest the things that we desire through a different level of consciousness. There is nothing in this plane that you cannot have. You can absolutely have it all. But when you think you can't have it, or it's too hard, or it's not going to work, it doesn't work. Instead of, there are 1,000,001 ways to have the thing that I desire. Every problem is solved before it even begins. There is no blockage or shortage. There's literally 7.5 billion people on the planet. If you wanted something, you could ask. There's literally people that put like GoFundMe things up. Like, there are so many ways to have the things that you desire. And right now with social media, there's even more than ever before. There are no blocks but the blocks in your mind. There are no limitations. Limitations do not exist. And so I ask you, I invite you, I really pull you in with my heart. If you're sitting on the fence around coming to Bali, just sit with your heart and go, is this for me? Am I meant to be in Bali with Eva? Am I meant to have this? And maybe it's a no. Like, maybe it's an absolute no. I'm never here to manipulate you or force you. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. I'm here to just hold space. And if you're ready for this, if you're absolutely ready to rise up and leave the distortions that have been keeping you stuck for so long, because there's no such thing as you can't have it. You can have absolutely everything and more. Think of everything in your life right now that you're calling in. You can absolutely have it. There are no blocks. There are no blocks. It's just getting resourceful. And the version of you at this level is going to have the thing in a different way than the version of you at this level. The version of you right now is having the thing maybe through their thoughts, maybe through visualizing, maybe through holding it true to their heart. And the version of you that's up here is holding it in their hand. And so it's just realizing that you've always had the thing the whole time. The dream has been within you the whole time. The love, the joy, the bliss, it's always been within you. You've always had it. You've just had it in a different way, because as you expand your consciousness, you get to have it in a different way. And so really sit with that. Sit with the truth and the calling of all that you are. And if you truly feel the call, there are a few spots left, so please lean in. I've got a few application calls this week, and I'm so excited and I'm so honored and I'm so blessed to get to know you and get to know your energy and hold you in this beautiful place. And there is a reason that they say Bali's the heart chakra of the world. I'm going to get really emotional, but it's because there's things you can feel in Bali that you just cannot feel in other places. And I truly believe that. I didn't find my peace until I moved to Bali. I didn't. I had peace within me. I had joy within me, but the feelings that you feel when you come to the heart chakra of the world, they change everything, and you can never go back. You can never go back. You will never go back to your old life. Life will never look the same again, and I truly trust that, and I believe that, and I know that. I know that from the experiences that the past guests from the Bali retreat had. Their life is not the same. They are not the same. They changed the second that they walked into that villa on day one, and the second that they left, they were a completely different person. And so if you're ready to go through that and come to the next level of your life, come to that next level of your reality where money flows like air, but you're so fucking happy that you don't even care, and please lean in. When there is a will, there is a way, and the universe will light up the path. If you don't know how, just book the call and we'll make the how. You can absolutely do this. I love you. I see you. Please lean in. If you're feeling the call, please lean in, because there's a world out there that needs you right now, and you cannot do it alone. Big love, wealthy old soul. I love you. I'm going to put the link below.